Well, hey everyone, it's the Priority One Travel podcast making its grand return after about a year. We have a very special podcast today. It'll also be available on YouTube. And I guess I owe you all a little bit of an explanation as to where I've went. Priority One Travel has still been in business, but during the really awkward phase of the pandemic where travel was happening, but there were a lot of rules and stipulations and complications and just all sorts of chaos. It was really difficult to bring guests on and have like a good conversation about the ease of travel and why you should travel and all these other things. And so I kind of put it on pause, but here we are, probably about a year later, and I am honored to have Cassidy Karnes of the AIC Hotel Group, who represents Hard Rock, Unico, Nobu, and Eden Rock. And we're going to talk about something really, really cool. A lot of people reach out to us about destination weddings, and we have the conversation, and then it kind of fades away, and people don't think it's possible, or what they thought it was going to be isn't what it was going to be, or whatever. And I think part of the issue is there's an education component. So I can't think of anyone better to have than my Hard Rock, Unico, Nobu, Eden Rock rep, Cassidy Karnes, on to discuss not only why you should have a destination wedding, but why you should consider Hard Rock and Unico for those events. So Cassidy, welcome. And
Hi.
I feel like it's almost like my first episode all over again with a 1 year gap. So we'll just call you my first guest. You're my first guest, and you get like a crown or something. So yay. So welcome. Feel free to introduce yourself, and let's talk about why destination weddings.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. I am so honored to be the first guest back on the podcast. As you said, my name is Cassidy Karnes. I'm a business development manager for AIC Hotel Group. Under AIC Hotel Group, I cover brands like Hard Rock All Inclusive, Unico 2087, Eden Rock, and Nobu. And what a business development manager does is I work directly with you, the travel advisor. So I don't work with the direct consumer, but I am a tool for travel advisors like you to use when you have clients with questions or if you're planning these destination weddings. And like you said before, a lot of people are interested in destination weddings, but they just don't know where to start. And I would say step one is definitely to consult a travel advisor. So come to you, because then you can come to me with any questions your client has, and we are a direct link right to the resort. So if you're not using a travel advisor, you better be using a travel advisor.
I agree.
Yeah. Destination weddings, they have become so popular, I would say, in the last 10 years because everyone's moving all over. You grow, I don't want to say like grow up, but you grow up, you travel, you have friends in all sorts of cities and even sometimes different countries. So anytime you have a wedding, a lot of times it does become a destination wedding because your friends are traveling from the East Coast or the West Coast, or you might have college friends or friends from when you were little. So most of the time, someone is traveling to your wedding. So why not have people travel to a warm destination, a fantastic resort, and an all-inclusive resort and celebrate your big day with your family, your friends, someplace very memorable. Because not only are you going to have your wedding, what's going to be the best day of your life, you're also going to have a vacation with all the people that are so special to you, and they're going to take those memories home.
Absolutely.
So that's why I say have a destination wedding.
Absolutely. And the ones that we've had, for previous clients, Jamaica and Mexico, I mean, it just takes like that memorable moment, but it makes it memorable not only because of your wedding, but like it's maybe your family vacation too, and you get a chance to explore an area, and while the bride and groom are working on the wedding details, you're kind of on vacation just as a guest at a resort of the wedding. So it's such a unique thing. So I agree, it's a great thing to do.
Definitely. And the resorts, specifically mine, we really specialize in destination weddings. So you're going someplace where we know what we're doing. You can come to us with just a vision board and we can put together your magical day right in the sun. We're located mostly in Mexico, but we do have a property in the Dominican Republic. So our Hard Rock Punta Cana is in the Dominican Republic. We also have our Hard Rock Cancun, our Hard Rock Riviera Maya, our Hard Rock Puerto Vallarta, and our Hard Rock Los Cabos. And then Unico 2087, which is our adults only brand. So our Hard Rock hotels are family friendly, aside from the heaven side at Hard Rock Riviera Maya. But if you're looking to do an adults only wedding, we also have our Unico 2087. So across the AIC brand, no matter what sort of vibe you are looking for your wedding, we have a property that's able to accommodate that for you. So it's not like you have to leave kids at home or you have to bring kids. It really can be whatever you visualize for your big day.
Right. And with the Riviera Maya property specifically, they do have that division. So, you have no limits as far if you have guests that don't want kids, they don't have to, until it's time to have the wedding where everyone's together and whatever. So there's so many options.
Definitely. It can be whatever vacation your friends and family want to have while celebrating your big day, which I think is really unique for our properties. If you have people who are into health and wellness, we have beautiful spas and gym. If you have people who are interested in music, we have lots of music programs that your guests can take advantage of, even as much as renting a Fender guitar to your room at Hard Rock and taking guitar lessons on the TV. So every little detail we have there.
Awesome. Well, let's talk destination weddings. Where do we start aside of contacting our travel advisor?
Step one, contact your travel advisor and kind of know what destination you're looking to do. So if you're interested in Mexico, if you're interested in the Dominican Republic, start there. And aside from starting with your travel advisor and where you're looking to travel to, we're going to have a date in mind. So you can have a date range, or you can just have a specific date in mind. And once you have that date in mind, we can start the wedding process. So I put together a quick little couple step that I can share on our screen, which will be available on the YouTube channel. Sorry, I know this is bad. What do we say? Bad podcasting that I'm talking about visuals and you can't see it, but it will be available on YouTube.
Yes, and you can find Priority One Travel on YouTube by searching Priority One Travel.
Yeah, so let's talk about the wedding process from start to finish. So you get engaged, you're ready to do your destination wedding. Step one, contact your travel advisor. And just a little bit of housekeeping things when you are booking a destination wedding with AIC Hotel Group. All of our wedding planning process is done in our Miami office. So it's right in Florida, in Miami. That's where we do the wedding planning process. A wedding sales coordinator will book and confirm the date and time. And then a wedding specialist will work with the couple within 6 months of the wedding up to 60 to 45 days to do the whole planning. So once the wedding has been planned, you will then meet your on-property coordinator. So you book the date in Miami, you plan the wedding in Miami, and then, and when I say Miami, I mean virtually or over the phone. Mm-hmm. And then at 60 to 45 days is when you would actually meet the on-site coordinator for your destination wedding. So step one, wedding reservation request is received by the wedding coordinator. Your travel advisor will send in a wedding request form with the time and date, the property that you are looking at, and then what type of ceremony you are looking to do. Something really unique about our properties at AIC Hotel Group is we do every single type of wedding. So if you are looking for a Southeast Asian wedding, if you are looking for a same-sex, a Catholic ceremony, a civil or a symbolic ceremony, we do every type of wedding. And all those details will be listed on that wedding request form, along with the time of day you are looking to have your ceremony at. So step one is sending in that request form and we receive it. So we will then check availability for you to make sure that that time and date is available. And not only is the time and date available, but we're also going to look at occupancy to make sure that we have enough rooms for your group, because we don't want you to book a date and then not be able to get the rooms. So we will check that as well. And then we will issue a credit card authorization form to hold that time and date. Now with Hard Rock Hotels, there is a $500 non-refundable deposit to hold your time and date, but then that $500 goes towards your final wedding request form. So your photography, your DJ, all of that $500 will go towards at the end. The fee is non-refundable in case you do decide to cancel, but we hope you don't.
Mhm.
And if you do a last minute wedding, so if you are looking to just elope in 28 days, there is a $1,000 fee for a complimentary package. But if you're booking outside of 30 days, that fee you will not have. Now for our Unico property, it is a $600 non-refundable deposit to confirm that wedding time and date as well. But like I said before, it will go towards your final invoice. So after we issue the credit card authorization form, the wedding ceremony contract and credit card form are signed and received. And then we reserve your wedding time and date in a formal email. So once you get that formal email from us, you are all set. That time, date, everything is reserved for you. So for weddings that we have confirmed that are within 6 months of wedding travel, they are going to get assigned a wedding specialist right away. Now, if you are outside 6 months of travel, you will not be assigned a wedding specialist right away. So it takes about 6 months to plan our destination weddings. I know that seems like a short amount of time, especially for stateside weddings. A lot of people plan 2 years in advance, but what's great about destination weddings is we really only need that 6 months to make your dreams come true. So that is totally normal. If you are someone who likes to start planning, a year ahead of time, we do have a diamond package that you can purchase that you were able to start planning right away. So once that 6 months hits, or you purchase the diamond package, you will start planning with your wedding specialist. So you'll have an introduction phone call. Right when you confirm your wedding, you will get catalogs of our vendors so you can start looking at what you like. If you want a light up dance floor, we have those. If you want fireworks, we have those. If you would like a harp player, a DJ, we really can make anything happen within reason at our hotels. So look through the catalog, see what you like. And then when you start planning sessions with your wedding specialist, they're going to bring all of those ideas and put it together for you to show you what it looks like. And then we'll create a proposal. And like I said, we'll apply that non-refundable deposit. So if you had to pay that $500 or that $600 to hold your wedding time and date, that will go towards your proposal. And then once everything is set, you will give the final approval to your wedding specialist, and we will collect final payment for your wedding 60 days prior to the wedding. And then at that time, after we take final payment, is when you would meet the on-site coordinator. So I know we talked about it being 6 months is when you really start planning your wedding with us. And a lot of people think that's a short amount of time, but there's a lot that you can be doing in between that time. So prior to being assigned your wedding specialist, like I said, you're going to have all the catalog so you can start looking at what you like. But you can create a wedding website for your guest. Definitely create your guest list. These are all things you have to do for a wedding stateside or a destination wedding. So you can get that all out of the way while you wait to meet your wedding specialist. So like I said, create your wedding website so all your guests know your details. Create that guest list. Select your wedding party. You can select your wedding theme and colors. I know that's a big one. Create a mood board or a Pinterest board. Those inspirations are going to help your wedding specialist know what you're interested in and kind of bring your full vision to life. Very important, please send out your invitations or at least save a date. That way people know that you're doing a destination wedding and they can put it on their calendars. Also, find your attire, find your tux, find your dress. Those are big moments. Shoes, accessories. Don't forget the accessories. Don't forget the ties.
Right.
Your wedding party attire. So you're going to have to figure out, are your bridesmaids wearing dresses? What are the groomsmen wearing? All of that has to be picked out. You can have your bridal shower. So even if you're doing a destination wedding, you can still have a local bridal shower that everyone can come and celebrate your big day. Bachelorette parties. I know we're talking about a destination wedding thing, but another market is destination bachelorette parties. A lot of people are interested in going to, Nashville or Vegas. Maybe consider Mexico or the Dominican Republic for your destination bachelorette party. It's an all-inclusive experience. So you'll pay one fee and then you'll have everything included for that time frame. Definitely an option for people looking to do something different. Purchase your stationery, register for, your shower and the wedding as well. Don't forget to purchase your rings. I had a friend who they almost forgot the groom's band for her wedding, so they had to do that the week before. Prepare your vows or the readings at your ceremony. If you're going to do a religious wedding or even a symbolic ceremony, you're going to have some readings. Pick who you want to do those readings. And then plan your honeymoon. Once again, first step in planning your honeymoon, talk to your travel advisor. They will know what to do and how to help you. So bachelorette parties, destination weddings, honeymoons, reach out to your travel advisor, specifically Dale, obviously.
Duh. Like, why wouldn't you?
Come on. We have this great podcast. We have all this information. They better be reaching out to you.
This backdrop's not cheap. I need people to call me,
Definitely. Other things you can do, you can have your dress fitting or your tux fitting, create your playlist. I know right now the big thing is create a list of songs you don't want the DJ to play at your wedding. They
still do.
Yeah.
I know our DJ still played everything that was on that list. That was really frustrating.
So Dale, I got to ask you, what was on the don't play list?
The chicken dance. I hate the chicken dance.
It's not, I'm with you on that one. It's not good. I mean, some people get really into it, but chicken dance, I think for mine would be the Cupid shuffle. I would be like, no playing the Cupid shuffle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My boyfriend loves the Cupid shuffle, so I feel like that's a dividing moment.
Yeah, no, I'm impartial, but like it's a no. It's just if that's a no, it's a no, No,
it's a no. Yeah. So create you don't want the DJ to play at your wedding.
Right.
And then a list of specific photographs that you want the wedding photographer to take. All over TikTok and Instagram, they have these beautiful moments that wedding photographers have captured of the couple. And just because you're doing a destination wedding doesn't mean you can't have those shots. Save them. You can talk to your photographer ahead of time, give them the inspiration. If you are doing a symbolic wedding in Mexico, please make sure to at some point get legally married in the United States. Don't forget to go to the courthouse to file that paperwork. You will need to do that. And if you're doing a destination wedding and it is symbolic, you can get married ahead of time or before, or ahead of time or after. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
Just make sure to file the paperwork once you get home.
Right.
Seating arrangements for the reception. I know everyone says that's like one of the toughest things to do for a destination wedding. And then gifts for your wedding party you can think of. Definitely prepare tips for your vendors ahead of time. And then if anyone wants to plan spa, golf excursions, you can also do that ahead of time at all of our properties. So this is just kind of things to do to keep you busy up until the actual wedding planning. And as we went over, this is like a lot of information and a lot that you still have to do at the destination wedding.
Right. And I think a good reminder, and even in my head, just because you don't speak to the wedding coordinator for 6 months prior doesn't mean that all these other things, including getting rooms and flights and, you can piece all this together. All of this, the whole event isn't being put together in 6 months. It's just, you're not speaking to your wedding coordinator till 6 months unless you pay for the diamond package or whatever. So there's still plenty to do. So I guess what I want to make sure people are taking away from this is you're talking to the wedding coordinator at 6 months, but everything else you can be working on. So you're not scrambling to throw a wedding together if you choose.
Exactly. And you bring up an excellent point about rooms and flights for your guests. When you send out those invites, normally we say, save the date about a year or 14 months ahead of the wedding. So people know that you're doing a destination wedding and they can start planning. And what's great about booking, with you, Dale, is that you can help people build those packages ahead of time. That way, they're not having to pay a fee all at once. You can do payment plans, you can reserve rooms ahead of time. And that way, everyone who's coming for the wedding has rooms, it's set up ahead of time. And they're able to do that before 6 months. We encourage to do it before 6 months.
Right. Absolutely.
Different budgets. And, if you can apply a deposit and pay as you go, that's something that works for some people. And another thing would be, just paying a lump sum. So whatever works for everyone, you're able to accommodate them, which is great.
Right. Awesome.
So ceremony types, I know we discussed this, but like I said, any type of wedding you are interested in having, we can accommodate you at AIC Hotel Group. And ceremony locations. So a lot of people, when they think of destination wedding, they think that they have to get married on a beach. You don't have to get married on a beach. A lot of people do a destination wedding so they can get married on a beach. But at Hard Rock and Unico, we have gorgeous locations. In addition to our beach locations, we have rooftop terraces at our Cabo property. We have gazebos. We have a gorgeous gazebo at our Unico property that's kind of secluded and makes for more of an intimate ceremony. So if you would like to get married on a rooftop, on the beach, in a gazebo, we can accommodate all of that. Or if you want to get married inside, we can do that too. We have beautiful ballrooms that hold a lot of people. Now, one thing that is unique about doing a destination wedding, if it is outside, sometimes you're worried about the weather, which we never want to think about, but it has to be in the back of our mind if we're planning. Every time you book a wedding with us, you have an outdoor location. We guarantee that there's an indoor location for you just in case you have to call the wedding. So don't think if you get married on the beach, that's your final location.
Right.
We always reserve a spot for you inside in case of not cooperating weather.
And I think that's a nice peace of mind, because I think, that doesn't necessarily exist with outdoor weddings here in the States. Some venues might not have an indoor alternative. So it's nice to have that peace of mind that, there is a plan B, because, Mexico and the Caribbean can be very Mexico and the Caribbean, and sometimes rain shows up. So that's nice peace of mind.
Exactly. So I think you had a couple questions from viewers about destination weddings.
Yeah. So the one that came in was realizing that there is a cost. Is there a way to have a destination wedding on a budget?
Definitely. And that's a question that, we see a lot. I'm going to go over, some of the comps that you will get by having a destination wedding with AIC Hotel Group. And one of the biggest ones we have is, as long as the couple stays at a Hard Rock All-Inclusive or Unico 2087 for 3 nights, they will qualify for a complimentary wedding package. And it's a ceremony package or even a vow renewal package. And what that includes is 32 chairs for the ceremony, a bouquet, a boutonniere, a one-tiered wedding cake, sparkling wine. If you need a minister, we can do that, and an audio system. So just for staying at one of our properties 3 nights, you can get that. So if you have 20 people coming to your destination wedding and you choose the complimentary wedding collection, you don't have to pay for any additional chairs. Now, if you have 35 people, there is a price per chair after the 32, but this complimentary wedding collection is a huge savings. You're going to need a bouquet or boutonniere. You're going to need a wedding cake. You're going to need that sparkling wine, and you're going to need chairs. So just for staying on property, which you would be doing for a destination wedding anyways, you're going to get that all included. Now, if you don't want the complimentary package and you are interested in something a little different, we do have pre-created ceremony packages like the Free Spirit, Tropical Paradise, Modern Enchantment, and Lavish Daydream that couples are able to choose from for an additional cost.
Okay.
Unico has a couple beach setups as well. But if you're not interested in any pre-created packages, but you want to do something different than the complimentary package, you can do a completely a la carte setup for your wedding. So at Hard Rock and Unico, like I said, and I've said a couple times, it can really be whatever vision you want. We can help bring it to life. And for getting married at Hard Rock or Unico, you will get a complimentary honeymoon package for your stay and comp nights. So when you have a group coming and they're booking with Dale, every 10 room nights that your group books, through the travel advisor, because it has to be booked through one channel, the couple's going to receive one comp night for themselves, up to 14. So let's say we have 30 room nights booked through Dale. The couple's going to get 3 comp nights for their own stay, up to 14. So that's another huge savings, because now you're getting comp nights. So now you're not even going to have to pay for your, or depending on how many people book, pay for your stay.
Sure. And you know, that I've had that with a few of my weddings, and that is a nice, yes, you have to pay the money up front, but that's nice to get back at the end too. And I assume that's the same setup with Hard Rock, correct?
Definitely. Hard Rock and Unico. So it's for both.
Okay.
And then room upgrades. So at Hard Rock and Unico, once you have 25 rooms booked, you're going to get a room upgrade. It's up to a Caribbean Diamond or a Deluxe Diamond. But what's great is if you have a couple who wants to have a room category higher than this, they'll apply the upgrade price to that higher room category, and then they just have to pay the difference. So they're still getting that upgrade. They'll just have to pay the difference if they want to do something at a higher level.
Awesome.
And so far we've talked about a complimentary ceremony package. We've talked about a complimentary upgrade, complimentary nights. Personally, I think the biggest saving comes from our private events. So let's say, once again, we have a couple who has 30 rooms booked through you. They're going to get 2 private functions for 3 hours each. And what these private functions can be used for is a welcome dinner, a rehearsal dinner. You can use it for your cocktail hour and part of your reception. And these private functions include setup and takedown, staff, food, and drinks. So the more rooms you have booked, the more private functions you get. And that's a huge savings. If you think about weddings stateside, I mean, you're paying for a caterer, you're paying for staff, you're paying for all, the bar. With these private functions, you can get that included based on how many rooms are booked through you. So the complimentary ceremony, the comp nights, the upgrades, and the private functions are a huge savings for people looking to do a destination wedding, specifically through Hard Rock, all-inclusive, or Unico 2087.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep hearing complimentary. So, there are a lot of perks. I mean, and it would be really interesting to compare how a wedding through Hard Rock or Unico compares to a wedding stateside. I mean, there's just so many extra perks that if these people were going to come anyways, there's actually savings to be had. That's what I'm hearing.
Definitely. And it's a whole different experience. Like we said when we started, you're getting a vacation with your friends and family who are there to celebrate you and your big day. Those memories are just some of the best. I've been fortunate enough to go to a few destination weddings for my own friends, and the memories that we have made are just irreplaceable. I mean, you see grandmas getting up and dancing with friends, and, everyone's having a good time. You're out by the pool. You have, maybe friends that can do a once in a lifetime excursion together. If you're in Mexico, you can go see the Tulum ruins. You can go snorkeling, and all of these things, they'll bring back home with them as memories, and it'll be just outstanding.
Absolutely.
And you'll kind of be a trendsetter. I know a lot of people who they started having destination weddings, and then all of their friends started having destination weddings. So you can really be a trendsetter with this.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing. And it's actually funny. I just have a rule that if I'm booking the destination wedding, I don't go. And the reason I've done that, and actually both destination weddings that I think of right off the top of my head, they were friends of mine, and I really wanted to be there, but I felt like if anything was to happen with a flight or there was any issue, it would be easier to manage stateside than out of the country. And I got to be honest, in both instances, I regret that decision. I might have to revisit that policy should another one arise, because you're right. I mean, my both clients were fantastic in sending me photos, and everyone's having a great time, and and I was like, I should be there. So, but yeah, I think there is a trendsetter component, because I think that when you look at it, you're like, that is amazing. There's no reason not to.
Exactly. I mean, I just now all of like the destination wedding memories are popping back into my head. And it just really is so fun. And you have a wedding planner, you have a wedding specialist, you have all these things available to you for doing a destination wedding that is also going to cost extra in the States. So you can trust someone who does this for a living, planning everything out. They know they're not going to miss a detail. And then when you're on property, these people execute weddings all the time. So you have the trust in them, and working with a travel advisor, specialist in booking your reservations, working with a wedding specialist, specialist in planning your wedding, and then working with your on-site wedding coordinator, specialist in executing your wedding. I mean, you are working with professionals from start to finish to help make your big day. And I mean, that is just an amazing resource to have and to use.
Yeah, and it's seamless, that. So that's I mean, I agree. And I think about, like my wife's and my wedding, and like there was a lot of work that we did that, like, none of it we regret, but by any means, but like, to think about how it could have been if like there were things that just took stuff out of our hands and just happened, fantastic.
And we're there to hold the couple's hand throughout the way. And like I said, when we started this podcast, I am a tool for, you to use. So if they have any specific questions or there is any hiccups, I'm here to help as well. And that's a tool and a resource that they have by booking through a travel advisor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nope, I agree.
Oh, and now if anyone after this podcast is interested in maybe doing a destination wedding, contact Dale, and we have a program called our Sound Check program. So Dale's able to book you, go down, and then you can meet with the on-site wedding coordinator. You can see the property. And once you return, if you decide to have your wedding with us, a certain amount of those funds that you used from your stay will go towards your final proposal. So it's a way to see the property, make sure that's what you want, but then some of those funds are able to be used towards your proposal when it's time for final payment. So that's a unique promotion that we offer.
And I mean, come on, twist my arm to do a site inspection for my wedding in Mexico or the Caribbean.
Exactly. I mean, go down for a couple days, get the feel of the property, see where you're going to say I do, have a vacation out of it, and then come back and start the wedding planning process.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So at AIC, our motto is every couple counts. So I hope with this podcast, I was able to answer some questions you might have about destination weddings, but every couple counts to us. And I hope that you would consider us for a destination wedding if that's something that you're looking to do.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, I don't want to speak before. Is that your last slide? I just want to make sure we're good. Last slide, yes. All right. Nope, we're good. No. So, again, just think about it. When you're listening to this podcast, and if you need to go to our YouTube channel to see the slides, please do. But part of the travel advisor's role is to, it's kind of part of our slogan here at Priority One Travel. Let us take the hardest part of planning out of your hands, which is the planning. And put your hands in trusted hands. That's my other slogan. So it ties into the whole firefighter thing, like trust people, people trust me with my life, so trust me with your vacation type thing. Yeah, but I mean, there's a way to make this actually probably stress-free, or as close to stress-free as you can get. And that's by using a travel advisor and a good partners such as the AIC Group with Hard Rock and Unico hotels. And Cassidy, I want to thank you for your time again. And when this does release, if people have questions, you can always email me at dale@PriorityOneTravel.com. Find us on Facebook on Priority One Travel. We're on the Insta, we're on the YouTube, we're back and forth on the TikTok, but we're not really doing much on the TikTok yet. But please reach out and understand that, my relationship with Cassidy is that, we're working together to make our clients mutually happy. So she's a phone call away. She's a text and email away. I promise you won't regret it if you decide to partner up with Priority One Travel and Hard Rock and AIC. And Cassidy, I would like to ask you, obviously there is more to the AIC brand than, just destination weddings. What do you think you come back on someday and we talk other parts of the brand?
Absolutely. I mean, our properties are outstanding for family travel as well. So if you have ever interested in doing like maybe a little family getaway, check out our Hard Rock all inclusives. We have water parks there. I know I touched briefly on some of the other programs we offered, but if you're also looking for an adults only luxury travel, check out Unico 2087. I would love to come back on the podcast and share more about our properties.
Well, you're lucky because it's been so long that I've done my podcast. I'm actually up looking. I actually bought, and I'm going to take one look here. If I can't find it this time, prepare yourself for next time. I had bought a deck of cards from a company called Pod Decks, which is a company that has questions you can ask your guests. You just draw a card at random and ask them a question just to kind of have some fun. And
cool.
I can't find it. So I just thought of it as I was sitting here and I went to my usual places. So next time you come on, there'll be a card from Pod Decks. It'll be totally random and, it'll just make this podcast even better and put me to the tops in all those podcast platforms. So again, thank you for coming on. Again, for those listening, thank you for listening to the Priority One Travel Podcast. We are happy to bring it back. We have much, much, much more in store. We're trying to plan a Key West day where we have our friend Kelly, the concierge, who delivers all sorts of care and love when you're down in Key West on board, some hotels and other individuals. We have Ireland coming up. We have a lot of things coming up. It's nice to sit back in the official Priority One studios, aka the downstairs office, and have guests back. So Cassidy, thank you once again, and everyone, thanks for listening.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.